Hello, welcome. I am Nassya, and I was going to post a video yesterday talking to you about conspiracies, but then life got in the way. And if from my perspective, the world only feels like it's been on fire, for our editor it quite literally has been. 14,000 acres and counting in California where she lives went up in flames. So honestly, our team has been pretty tired and fatigued, and although we do have a great episode for you about conspiracies that we will post next week, I don't want to talk about this today. I want to talk to you about something that we all need probably more than ever: self-care. And since we're talking about self-care, I hope you don't mind if I switched into something a little bit cozier. Much better. So yeah, there are several things I don't want to talk about because I don't want to add to my stress. But let's not bump around. The premise of the show, after all, is to take on heavy subjects in a lighter way, so let's do it. Rumor has it that the fire in California was started by a bird exploding on an electric wire, because apparently 2020 is the year we find ourselves living inside the Angry Birds video game. And some may question this, but my people in Chicago know that animals do the darndest things, from a goat cursing a baseball team for a century, true story, to a woman milking a cow and burning a great city down. Well, that cow did kick the lantern bad. And I mean, it's not like Californians haven't done anything crazy before. Like that couple that did a gender reveal and started the El Dorado fire. Nothing like burning 20,000 acres to let your family know you're having a boy, and he's gonna be a rambunctious one. But listen, I know that the situation in California probably warrants a long discussion about the environment, but we're not gonna talk about this today because I don't want more stress. And we won't talk about this fire being a sign that California needs to address its issues with water and global warming, and the fact that they don't have enough firefighters. Because even though the state is okay using prison labor to fight fires, they actually don't want to hire ex-cons once they're released from prison and are looking for legitimate jobs. But before the righteous types start claiming that this fire was a sign from God that all the liberals and homosexuals and the likes need to repent in California, I just want to point out that the first house damaged in the fire actually had a huge Trump Pence 2020 sign in the front yard. And honestly, thankfully nobody died, but also let's not talk about politics. No. Today let's talk about the indomitable human spirit, because as California was already engulfed in flames, some brilliant souls decided to celebrate the LA Dodgers World Series win with fireworks, to add some sparkle to the occasion, so to speak. And at this point, Florida should probably worry about its crown as the funnest state in the union, but then again, the competition is stiff. In 2017, for example, a proud father-to-be at another gender reveal party, who also happened to be an off-duty US Border Patrol agent, started a fire in Arizona that cost nearly $8 million in damage and spread to nearly 47,000 acres. For scale, the Central Park in New York City is only 840 acres. And I'll be honest, I don't want to add to the stress of my life or your life, so I don't want to talk to you about the confirmation of Amy Coney Barrett onto the Supreme Court. So instead, let's talk about the House Judiciary Committee Republicans showing what a true class act they are and wishing Hillary Clinton a happy birthday. I mean, they mocked her by pretending Barrett's confirmation was her birthday gift. You know, Hillary Clinton, the woman who won the popular vote 4 years ago and almost was our president, the one who believes that women should have control over their own bodies and destinies. Yeah. But I want to talk about self-care. So let's not talk about the Republican Party's hypocrisy, about how they refused to allow Obama to nominate a Supreme Court justice with nearly 10 months left in the office, but pushed through a nomination for Trump a week before the election. Honestly, there's nothing shocking here. They have shown us again and again who they are, and the only thing we can do, besides voting, is to breathe deeply. And let's not talk about the fact that Justice Barrett's vote will certainly present a danger to women's rights, marriage equality, or any protections that marginalized people still have in the United States. Let's not even talk about the fact that the election on November 4th will certainly not entail a smooth transfer of power, especially not if Trump loses. And let's not talk about the fact that the new justice will probably have to decide the case about whether a president who appointed her gets to serve another 4 years, or another 20 years after that if he gets his way like his BFF Lot P in Moscow. No, let's not talk about this. Let's not even talk about the fact that even in the leftist cities among the East Coast elites, like New York, people have to wait in lines for hours and hours and hours to cast a vote. Because remember, if you can't vote, you can't make a change. And like I said earlier, I didn't want to talk about conspiracies, but there is a mystery that I really want to talk about. Fox News talk show host cum private investigator Tucker Carlson has told us that he has a huge discovery. He allegedly had some documents about Hunter Biden, the son of presidential candidate Joe Biden, that could alter the course of the republic. But then a huge mystery is afoot. And this should be familiar to anybody who ever forgot to do homework and needed a quick excuse. But allegedly the papers got lost in transit. And I know that ideologically Fox News lived in the 1950s, but I thought that at least their tech skills would be closer to 2020. So you have these huge documents, and nobody had a smartphone with a camera or had thought of doing a scan or even, a fax? Okay. So I guess now Tucker Carlson has experienced what every person who ever did online shopping has lived through, minus the company launching an extensive investigation and releasing the official statement about it. But leave it to the Republicans to create a major conspiracy out of a minor inconvenience. And honestly, I'm sure there is a joke somewhere in there about how the Republicans and Trump are so out of touch that they don't trust any of the mail-in services because their minions shop for them and they don't pay taxes anyway, so they don't know that even tax checks are absolutely safe to be mailed, in addition to your ballots and medicine. But honestly, I'm too tired to think about what that joke might be. So instead, let's talk about self-care. And you should consider some counter-programming, like watching videos of puppies. And if you don't like dogs, don't worry. There are plenty of videos of baby goats and pandas to go around. And listen, I won't tell you to breathe in deeply. Not because I don't want you to relax, but because actually it's better for your diaphragm if you focus on breathing out. And I hope you spend at least 15 minutes a day doing something nice for yourself, whether it's taking a good shower, or reading, or pouring yourself a glass of wine or beer or whiskey, or vodka or tequila, whatever it is that your drink of choice is, even water. And if you're eligible to vote, but haven't yet done so, please vote. There are 20 states that allow voters both same day and election day registration. So even for people who haven't registered, there might be a chance. But whatever you do, keep your chin up and don't despair. I'll see you next week. Bye.